All right, well, like I said, I appreciate the opportunity to present the Quorum story. As Gilbert mentioned, my name is Maury Marks, President and CEO of Quorum. And let's dive right in. This is our forward-looking disclaimer. I'll quickly go past that. And so what I want to do is I want to start, talk you through the Quorum story, but I want to start with my background because that'll help tie it all together. So my background is I grew up in a car dealership. My parents owned a dealership, right? Same dealership that you would go to buy a car or get your car serviced. I got a really good understanding of the car business from growing up in the dealership. I went off and got my CPA. So I'm a CPA, certified CPA. And then I moved into the tech practice. And I got a chance to do a lot of tech consulting to different vertical markets out there and really got to see the core systems that were being installed in different verticals that they were using to run their businesses. So with that experience, that gave me a great foundation for Quorum. Now, what I found was when in my experience in the car dealership was that my parents had two different options out there, and car dealerships have two different options in the North American marketplace. One is typically is CDK, and the other one is rentals. Those two companies own 75% of the market in both Canada and the US. Now, if you were to look at their offerings, they're character-based systems, multi-modular. There's all kinds of issues with regard to modules not talking to each other, with duplication of data, duplication of customers throughout the software. It's quite shocking, actually, in this day and age, that those two are dominating the automotive space. We set out to build a better product. And it's interesting, back when I worked in the dealership, that was the competitive landscape, and it is still the competitive landscape today. So we set out to build a better solution. Our solution was called Accelerator. It's a dealership management system for a car dealership, or an ERP for a car dealership, if you will. Where we are today is 98% of our revenue is reoccurring, with 72% of that being SaaS revenue. We're a very innovative company in that we're constantly coming up with new ideas and new releases of our software. We as well take customer feedback into account continuously. Growth-wise, it's been an exciting time, especially over the last 3 years for Quorum, where we've grown significantly, not only from organic growth, but also from acquisition growth. And you will see along the bottom of this particular slide that we've completed 3 acquisitions in the last 3 years, and we've seen 127% revenue growth, 100% SaaS growth, and 111% EBITDA growth. All right, I'm gonna just back us up and tell everybody how we got to where we are today, or how we got through to where we were for those last 3 years, right? So I mentioned we started with our Accelerator product, that dealership management system for a car dealership. Before we can sell that product to a car dealership, it has to be integrated to the manufacturer. So there's a lot of B2B integration to be built. When we first started, we only sold our software to GM dealerships. That was the only manufacturer we were integrated to, and we built deeper B2B integration than anybody else had in the marketplace. We also, over time, built out manufacturer integration to multiple manufacturers in Canada. And on this slide, you can see that most of the manufacturers we built in Canada, we also offer that same integration in the US, although some are Canada only. What we also learned as we were selling our software to different dealerships, there were a lot of other third-party companies supplying software to dealerships. In actual fact, there's 700 different companies providing software to dealerships. And a big reason why a lot of those companies have grown up over time is the CDK and Reynolds offering. Remember, I talked about those two companies being our primary competitors. The CDK and Reynolds offerings really aren't that strong, and they aren't innovating in any way, shape, or form. So this whole ecosystem of third-party software companies has grown up over time. we were constantly integrating to different third-party companies. And we got to the point where we said, geez, we could really start extending our solution and building out a product suite and building some of this functionality. So we started with our communicator platform, which was a unified communication platform that really did simple things like inform a customer when their vehicle's ready to be picked up in the service department. That was a huge hit. And then we moved on to build our sales CRM solution, which was a solution that just allowed dealerships to manage their whole sales cycle for car deals. And then another one that we built was our Power Lane solution. So this was an inspection solution that advisors and technicians could use in the service lane to inspect vehicles as they came through the service department. Power Lane was a huge hit for us. We were driving in $60,000 of per month per dealership of additional customer pay revenue through our Power Lane product. All of a sudden, we went from an accelerator product to a product suite where we help dealerships drive in revenue and help them with their customer satisfaction. It was an awesome transformation. We continued on our transformation. We got to the point where we said, hey, we just can't build every single solution out there. And so we did a study across our dealerships, and we found our dealerships were on average using 15 different solutions and paying $14,000 per month. So we set out to really, at first, we set out to put a partnership agreement in place with multiple third-party companies. So we would partner with the companies, we'd build collective integration between our products, we would add them to our product suite, and we would sell their products through to our dealerships. And that was a hit. We signed up 3 companies right away, and we were off and running. One of those companies, though, stood out to us, Autovans, who had a desking and a menuing product for car dealerships. And their exciting solutions, once we had them integrated and started selling them, they sold very quickly. And hence our partnership arrangement really morphed into our first acquisition as a company. And we acquired Autovans in 2017. We continued on that acquisition strategy with acquiring DealerMine in 2018. And then not shown on this slide, we also acquired Oasis in 2019. Now, Oasis was a competing product to our accelerator product. So we're in the process of transitioning their customers over onto our accelerator product. We are taking the Oasis company and their product called Advantage, and we're selling that to what are called independent dealerships. So those are different than franchise dealerships. Independent dealerships are typically used car stores. We went from then 4 offerings in our product suite to 9 different offerings, and we're selling our whole product suite for around $6,000 per month per dealership. We are continuing to innovate. So in Q3 of this year, we're launching My Deal. My Deal is a product that our Autovans division built that allows customers to buy a car online. So this is now we're moving into digital retailing very quickly because that has been in demand for dealerships out there. We are, as well, are enhancing our Power Lane product. The new enhancement allows dealership technicians and advisors to capture pictures and videos, send those through to customers who can then see their complete inspection on their car, watch the videos, and determine if they want to approve additional work. In addition, we're building out QAnalytics, which is an enterprise reporting tool that will provide analytics across our entire product suite. So we've got some exciting innovations going on. Few metrics for people. So on the far left-hand side gives you an idea of the size of the market. You can see we're at a little over 1,000 unique customers across the Quorum dealerships out there. Our available market is a little over 22,000 customers. Right now in the Canadian marketplace, we've got 28% market share, but we only have 0.7% market share in the US. Our average ARPU, or average revenue per customer, recurring revenue per customer, is just shy of $1,900. So if you look at Quorum and you look at opportunities for us, we've got multiple different opportunities, right? So opportunity number 1 for us is is we can cross-sell our solutions across our customer base. With an ARPU of 18 or just under $1,900, and with us having the ARPU of our entire product suite being $6,000, there's a big cross-selling opportunity. We also have the opportunity to continue to buy, build, or partner for additional solutions. If you remember my previous slide, I talked about, I'm sorry, I should have just advanced this. If you talked about if you remember my previous slide, I talked about the idea that today our suite is $6,000, but our dealerships are on average spending $14,000. So there's still $8,000 of wallet available across dealerships out there. And then of course our US growth opportunity is massive, with us only having 0.7% market in the US. And as is always the case with our company, it's part of our DNA. We'll continue to innovate and continue to listen to our customers and constantly be aware of market trends and put new and exciting products into the marketplace. All right, just looking at some results over the past 3 years, you can see our revenue growth was very strong from 2017 to 2019. I talked about that before. Q2 2020 revenues were down for us, and that was largely because we offered a support discount during COVID to our dealerships for April and May. That discount ended in June, and so any run rates that I've talked about in my slides, those are based on our June SaaS and June BDC or call center revenues. But you'll see our Q2 revenues are down a bit. Those should rebound back nicely in Q3 for us. Gross margins have, across the company, have typically been over 50%, but they dropped in 2019 because we acquired DealerMine at that point in time, and they had a call center business, which was a lower margin business. SaaS gross margins for us have typically been quite strong, averaging in around 67%. Q2 is a little bit of an anomaly, and that's largely due to the support discount that we offered our customers in April and May. And then of course, adjusted EBITDA for us has typically ran in around the 14 to 15% mark over the years. Talking a little bit about our market cap and ownership of our shares out there. So as you can see, we've got about 73 million outstanding shares, $80 million market cap. We have a strong cash position as an organization. We also have an undrawn portion of a BDC debt facility in place. That debt facility was put in place so that we could continue to do future acquisitions. We finished an offering in November of 2019. That was great timing for us pre-COVID. And our institutional ownership of our shares is now over 50%. Also noting on the far right-hand side, our dealership ownership of our shares is around 10%. And so those are dealerships that have bought our shares in different offerings that we've done over time. Talking a little bit about valuation and analyst coverage for us. If you look at valuation metrics, we believe we're valued quite low. We're valued at, as you can see on screen, 2.5 times trailing 12 months revenue. Typically, SaaS companies are valued in around the 8.8 times SaaS revenue mark. Additionally, we're covered by 3 different analysts, and they have buy targets for us of $1.67, so fairly significantly higher than our current trading price. With that, I'm sorry, one more slide, just talking about our management team and our board of directors. So our management team have been with the company for a fairly long time. Rick Johnson's probably the newest member of our team, and he came to us through our Autovance acquisition. We just recently announced the bringing on of a COO, so we're excited to have Mike Herrenberg join our our management team. He just started very recently and comes with a lot of incredible experiences in different companies, and I'm sure he'll help continue to grow the company going forward. From a board of directors point of view, we've got some really strong board members, not only just from a business point of view and an automotive space perspective, but also we've got board members that have a lot of experience with acquisitions and with technology roll-up stories. With that said, Gilbert, I will open it up to questions from the audience.
Thank you, Maury. And there's a few questions here on tab here. The first one coming from Brian Jai, and he's asking you, how do you win contracts from other dealerships that haven't used your software, like your growth strategy?
Yeah, no, excellent question. I get that one an awful lot. So there's a few different ways that we win contracts. The first way is if it's new customer acquisitions that we're after, what we will do is we are selling dealership to dealership in those particular cases. There aren't typically deals where you can go to the manufacturer and then have the manufacturer mandate your solution across dealerships. So those are, dealership to dealership wins. What we're also finding though is as well, we're not only going after new acquisitions, but we're also going after cross sales. So if we have one of our division's products into a dealership, the ability for us to get another product into that particular dealership goes up significantly when we can go in from a cross-selling strategy.
Okay, good to know. Another question coming from the Chinese feed here. Tom Lin is asking, let me translate into English. Does the pandemic have a slowdown on your business?
It did. So in April, when we look back at April and May, what we were seeing is a lot of dealerships really for their showrooms, they had to close their showrooms, right? So they weren't selling vehicles unless they were selling them online. And their service departments really slowed down as well, not as significantly as their showrooms. And hence that's why we offered the April and May discounts that we did to our dealerships to really sort of help them through those particular times. But now what we're seeing is a strong return of business. We're seeing dealerships, showrooms are completely opened up again. And in actual fact, in talking to a bunch of dealerships out there, they've had some of the strongest July and August that they've seen in years. So they're pretty excited. The service business as well has picked up for them and sort of been the anchor going all through COVID for dealerships, in that it has remained reasonably consistent, but has now picked up to levels that were pre-COVID levels.
Okay, a couple more questions I'll go through. This is from Wei Zhao. He's asking you, how do you make your product more competitive compared to the CRM and other ERP system in the market? I would think that he's asking you, how do you remain competitive continuously?
Right. Yeah, I mean, for us, what we're always doing is, of course, we're looking at competitive analysis between our product and other products in the marketplace. And we believe, especially when you compare us up against CDK and Reynolds, we can easily out-innovate them and bring new exciting pieces. We also believe that a big part of our story is that product suite story, right? Dealerships are used to having 15 different products and then being disparate products that don't integrate well with each other. So there's a lot of rekeying of data. They don't have an enterprise reporting tool, so they look at analytics across all their different software packages. What we're really doing is we are providing simple end-to-end business processes to dealerships where all our products are embedded within each other, and it's just this smooth integrated flow, and then we put enterprise reporting on top. So hence you've got compelling argument already for the product as a standalone basis, but when you tie it into the product suite, the compelling argument to buy our products goes up.
Indeed. My last question for you, this one is from Brian Burton. This is quite interesting. He's asking about the EV. So what's your company going to do with the big EV switch coming soon, starting to happen? And how do you plan to get a piece of that market? So does it really matter to you? Does it change for the EV market?
Yeah, no, and it doesn't. I mean, our product suite is for a dealership, whether they're a combustion engine dealership or an EV dealership, or as most are quickly becoming a hybrid of the two of them. So from our perspective, you know, we're building with both in mind, and yeah, and hence we don't believe it'll have a large impact.
That's a very good answer. So thank you, Maury, for your precious time today.